Welcome to Sci-Fi Sunday Night. We're still at the Science Fiction Convention, Conduit, and I'm here with, look at these guys. What's your name?
My name is, I am Titus. I'm an elvish druid. I play a game, Mythic Realms. We go up into the forest with our friends and beat each other with foam weapons.
Okay, so he's an elvish druid. What are you?
I'm an Elven Ranger.
Elven Ranger.
Yeah, and I do the same thing with Mythic Realms, and I'm usually the one with the swords, and I just don't have them with me right now.
Well, speaking of the swords, you guys really hit each other with these things, right?
Absolutely, they're PVC covered with foam. No, it's safer than any mainstream sport. I had much worse injuries than in football or basketball than ever with this.
We need to protect these people under, I think, the Freedom of Religion Act. So now look at this guy. Look at this. This is awesome. What did you do to Satan?
I don't know.
This is awesome. We'll have more with these guys coming up here on Sci-Fi Sunday Night, Z24 TV. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. We've been at the Science Fiction Convention for 2 days now. What do you think, Jeff?
Resistance is futile.
Best costume ever. Go ahead, Mr. Borg.
Resistance is futile. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to our own.
What do you know about the Borg, and would you like to know more? Look at this. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. Nice place you have here, Mr. Pike. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. Carrie and Jeff here with Dave Wolverton. We're at the Science Fiction Convention here in Salt Lake. I want to show you something. This is Dave's book. I want you to see the top. New York Times bestseller. Dave, so far, you're the most important person we've had on this show.
Cool.
And you're local.
Yeah.
That's
well,
right.
thank
You live here, right?
That's right. I live down in Elkridge.
Well, how did... No, I grew up in Salem, actually.
And I grew up in Payson.
Wow.
Utah County, represent! All right.
We rule.
How does a Utah County boy write Star Wars books? And one of my favorite ones, as a matter of fact.
Well, I started writing science fiction about 20 years ago, and I guess after my first couple of novels went big, they asked me if I would be willing to write a Star Wars novel, and I'd been a huge fan when I was a teenager, so I was happy to do it.
That's just incredible. Tell us about some of the other books you've written as well.
Well, I've actually done 16 young adult books in the Star Wars series and 4 Mummies books. I also write under the name of David Farland in fantasy, and I'm a New York Times bestseller there.
Alias.
Alias David Farland, yeah. And so I do quite a few different things.
It's pretty impressive. No, I know Jeff has a personal question for you.
Yeah. Dave, when's George Lucas going to ask you to write the next Star Wars movie? I mean, really?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit below his radar, and besides that, I'm actually working on my own right now. So.
Oh, on your own movie?
Yes. We're starting production on this movie here in the next week.
Sci-fi?
It's a fantasy novel based on my fantasy novel, The Rune Lords, which was a New York Times bestseller and it's done really well. It's kind of like a Lord of the Rings kind of a movie.
Any names we'd recognize in the cast?
That has to be determined here in the near future.
All right, Dave, I'm going to ask you to autograph this to my very good friend, Carrie Jackson. Yo, Utah County represent. Z24 TV, Sci-Fi Sunday Night.
You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday on Z24 TV. Resistance is futile.
You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night, Z24 TV. I'm Carrie Jackson. This is Jeff Bison, and we're at the Science Fiction Convention, Conduit. Jeff, don't you hate it when you go to a party and someone is dressed just like you are?
It happens to me all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've showed up in this outfit. This exact
outfit. What is your name?
Patrick Gonzalez.
Patrick, this is really awesome what you've done now. What do you call this?
I took it off the idea from just Legend, and I just wanted to take it to the next level.
I don't want to call it goat legs, but that's all I'm coming up with. This is amazing. You should see the way this is built. Look at this. This has got to hurt, right?
After 3 hours.
Now, how tall are you really?
I'm 5'10".
He's 5'10". Hey, short guys of the world, here you go. This is the key. Women are turned on by cloven hooves. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. Wow. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. We've been at the Science Fiction Convention Conduit here in Salt Lake City for a couple of days now, and we've seen a lot of really good costumes, but I gotta say, Darth Maul here has taken the cake. What's your name?
Clint.
Clint, this is awesome, and I want you to look at, this is paint. This is not a shirt. This is paint. Can you believe that? Is awesome. How long did that take?
Took about 6.5 hours.
Were they painful hours?
After you're standing there for a while, it gets pretty bad.
Please sit down. Take it easy, will you? Thank you, Clint. And then we got Stephanie here. You're a Jedi Stephanie, is that?
Yeah, pretty close.
Now I see you have a braid, but that doesn't mean you're a Padawan. You're Jedi.
I'm a full Jedi now.
Well, now how does the whole braid thing work with a Padawan?
Great thing with Padawan, it's behind their ear,
Behind the ear, does the right ear?
the right ear.
Well,
Yes.
this is an incredible costume that you've got here. I got to say. Now we move over to.
Padawan McCrugel of the Clan McCrugel.
Well, I can see you're a Padawan here with your braid, but this is. Well, show me your lightsaber here exactly. I mean, that's. Okay, there's a joke there, but I'm not gonna go with it. What exactly are your powers besides the Force exactly?
I can sense a bargain anywhere.
I'm really ashamed to be a part of this show right now. Stephanie, could you use your Jedi mind tricks on this guy, would you?
You are not a Padawan. You are a stupid TV show host.
I am a stupid TV host.
Stephanie, thank you for getting my partner back. We've still got a lot of things to do here at the convention. Are you all right?
What in God's name was I thinking?
I have no idea, but that's certainly a bargain, I've got to say. You're watching Sci-Fi Sunday Night on Z24 TV. More from the science fiction convention. Would you get out of that?
I'm trying.
More from the science fiction convention coming up. Please, you're embarrassing me. And I promise not to make that joke. That is a tiny lightsaber. Well, that's it for our special science fiction convention edition of Sci-Fi Sunday Night. As you can see behind us, the geeks are being serenaded before bedtime by the Filk Singer. We had a great time here, as a matter of fact. But before we go, there's just something that we wanted to do. We just wanted to talk about the Star Wars, which is, of course, our favorite thing as far as geek movies go. George Lucas, responsible for the greatest trilogy, science fiction trilogy ever, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who would say that, Empire Strikes Back was the best of the bunch.
Well, and I know there are people who like the first of the movies, A New Hope.
A New Hope. But Jeff, tonight, we're going to take the indefensible position. Phantom Menace, best Star Wars movie ever.
Well, first of all, I mean, you've got Jar Jar Binks and all those gross ethnic and racial stereotypes. Old-fashioned entertainment like Amos and Andy. It's the good old days.
Give me that old-time entertainment. How about that scene in The Phantom Menace where the Sand People are up on the hill shooting at cars going by? That reminds me of growing up in a farm community when Gavin Barney would climb up on the side of the hill and shoot at cars going by. Fond memories.
Yeah, Phantom Menace has the best one-liners and dialogue of any of the Star Wars movies. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Who could forget Yippee?
And, your midi-chlorian level is very high. I use that all the time.
Oh, the acting.
The acting.
The acting. I mean, how did actors in Phantom Menace not win the Oscars and sweep all the acting categories this year? The fix was in, I tells you.
It's beyond me. And Darth Maul, probably the greatest Star Wars villain of all. I mean, yeah, he didn't do much and he got cut in half, but man, he looked cool.
Yeah, well, a lot of the people at this convention looked really cool, too. We want to thank them for being such good sports. Remember to listen to Carrie on X96 tomorrow morning.
Read Jeff in the Deseret News. We'll see you next week on Sci-Fi Sunday Night. On the next Sci-Fi Sunday, you'll get Action Figure Theater, you'll get our new feature, Geekly World News, and you'll get our brand new set.
Ship.
It's a set.
Dude, it's a Constitution-class starship.